10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Game 2 between Arcade eSports. They used to be Power Rangers. They were Arcade Power Rangers for a while, but yeah, they are just Arcade now. Makes me sad. And Team Alternate Attacks. The first game, I would say, was pretty good. Alternate were ahead, but with a little bit of a more unconventional draft, something that we love seeing, so I was excited. And yeah, we're going to be seeing whether Alternate will prevail 2-0, or whether Arcade's going to force it to a game 3. As we talked about at the end of that game, you need a win, or they're out. Like, whoever loses this set is just right out, and both teams need a win here to be potentially in at all, because there's going to be tiebreakers. So, once again, I'm Llama Down Under. I'm joined by PQMZ. How's it going? It could be one of those things where they're saying, hey, we aren't going to pick it up, and we're pretty worried that our opponents will pick it up. So why don't we just make sure... Yeah.
Reserve time.
But this leaves so many things in the pool, because teams went with Bane. Yeah, I was about to mention here. Because they went with Bane, Night Stalker as their bans, and of course the IO, it means that Doom's in, Slaughter's in. There's stuff like Darkseer, the Undying, which seems to be prized in this region, and so on and so forth, so...
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Dazzle.
Dire team pick.
Very true. So, nice little Dazzle coming out. See what else they got for us. Do you think... Yeah, I mean, I just feel like... Yeah, okay, yeah, it's minus armor. And even with this, you definitely were like, look, Doom doesn't start with much armor, maybe they can take advantage of this. Let's be honest, Doom might just Scorched Earth and wander away, and then Alternate gets the, you know, the whole, hey, we're going to make sure that we have a little bit of armor to deal with all of this business coming out from Arcade.
Ten seconds remaining.
Yeah.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Yeah, so we're gonna be seeing ban out on the Wraith King. It's an obvious Doom counter, and we might even see, I don't believe Arcade has any games this patch on the Bearman. Lone Druid, there we go. My brain was breaking for a second. No. But no, Lone Druid and Wraith King kind of considered Doom counters, and it's something that we were seeing out of Alliance when they were letting teams get Doom, and then they were just like, it's fine, we're gonna pick Lone Druid, and you're gonna have to decide which of these you'd like to Doom, because we're both gonna be huge. So, it's certainly one way to deal with things, and it does look like, yeah, no, actually, as I say that, 3 Lone Druid games coming out of PR, all of which were wins on this patch. I don't know, they're certainly not, you know, they don't have the Bulldog on their team, they're not gonna be known, it's hard to get known as well, as the Bulldog for it, but we should have been queued off because Barash, his picture is a bear. Yeah. We failed. Either way.
Reserve time.
No. Yeah. So we've also got the Windrunner ban out, obviously banned out because there's a slaughter on the opposing side. Focus fire plus amp damage. Windrunner's already a pretty strong hero. She does need quite a bit of time to ramp up. She needs Aghanims and usually something like that Chrysalis, at least a damage item, so that she can hit really hard. With amp damage, she can come online much, much faster. Yeah.
Phantom Lancer.
Radiant
And they go
team
for the
pick.
Yeah, they go for the Phantom Lancer again. I'm a little surprised because I feel like he had a rough game last game, but maybe they're deciding, look, they haven't picked such a scary lane like the Undying and the Dark Seer potentially, or they don't have an Undying here that's really gonna mess with his farm. But Lich will do that too. I mean, as Lich really only needs 2 points in that sacrifice, and you're denying almost a
10
fourth
seconds
of
remaining.
Phantom Lancer's potential farm.
5 seconds remaining.
Invoker.
Dire team pick.
Yes. It was a pleasure to watch. They didn't win, but it was amazing. He got so much work done.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Yeah. %. Now, Arcade, they have an opportunity to pick something else up here. I feel like Invoker can deal a bit with, he has some illusion clear, so that's always nice. Usually the Tornado plus the EMP should wipe them all out, and it should help them as well with catching Phantom Lancer by surprise. They already have his defensive support on the Dazzle. Do you even try to go for something like the Wyvern as well, just to be super defensive? Now you've got this TA, you got a minus armor strat going on. Do you go with Wyvern so your cores can be super aggressive, or Arcade?
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Yeah.
Winter Wyvern.
Dire team ban.
Oh yeah, Invoker loses mid. Like, a
10 seconds remaining.
yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
It's definitely something where folks...
Reserve time.
It does feel like Invoker needs a lot of help. If he goes the Exalt build, he can maybe have a better chance in lane, but we haven't been seeing that too much. I'm trying to remember how Supreme played him. I'm pretty sure it was Quas Wax both times. Yeah. Hmm. Now, they need, obviously, the okay, I'm assuming it's Doom, Lich offlane, one of those lanes which will really nerf the farm of the Phantom Lancer, so they might even dodge on Arcade. Team Alternate now need a super hard carry, Arcade, another support, probably one with good control as well, just to deal with the Invoker and Doom running their faces into people as the game progresses. I was gonna say maybe an Earthshaker, but I feel that's a little greedy for Arcade.
5 seconds remaining.
Rubik.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah. You can always...
10 seconds remaining.
Slaughter does fine until the Doom hits 6, and that's really all you can ask for. So, now, alternate, maybe just anti-mage again if you're feeling confident. It's a bit scarier here with so much minus... Oh, obviously also banned out. I'm really smart, guys. But it's scarier, I think, a lot of the hard carries left in the pool because of the minus armor coming out from Arcade and the fact that they will have gap close. So if you went for one of those ranged heroes, it's still things getting up in your face. Do you have a preference?
Juggernaut.
I also feel like okay, we actually loaded in super fast, so there we go, folks. No more prison Dota for you. I know how much everybody loves prison Dota, though. Like,
Prepare watching streams where it was on all the time, and you were just like, it ruined your experience so much. It was so sad.
no, there are people who, like, I think they just love it for the spam in chat, but I was definitely watching someone recently who, like, left the overlay up for, like, 8 minutes, and
they don't
chat
check
was...
chat.
Well, I mean, I don't check chat. It's just I run the OBS next to me. That's how I can see that my chroma key is never working. Either way, folks, enough talk about non-Dota related things. Welcome to Game 2 of Alternate versus Arcade Power Rangers. And they are up 1 point on Alternate. You can see, apparently people didn't know what this meant. Either way, we've got a level 1 engagement. Exotic Deer, if he needs to, can just spin away. Oh goodness, he hasn't skilled it yet. He's taking a lot of damage and the opportunity to spin is gone. Exotic Deer is now trying to walk it off. He spins to avoid the secondary slow, and a nice Splinter Blast are going to slow all of them out. But Exotic Deer, he might just go home. Yeah, he's just going to go back to base. So, nice little gank coming out of Arcade, and let's go around and introduce them. On the Dazzle, we've got J4 playing up on top on that Slaughter, who is completely spotted his Cheshire Cat. Is he just going to block him in there? Walk a little bit closer. I think you could block him. No, he eats a tree, gets out. Cheshire Cat going to take probably half his life in harass, but going to be fine. On Rubik, we've got Big Num Dota, apparently. I'll have to make sure to follow him on Twitter. You all should too. Show the players your love. Terror Assassin's going to be played up by Barish, which of course leaves Cheshire Cat on on Tron. Longest introductions ever. Tossing it over to you.
We have L on the Winter Wyvern, Exotic Deer on the Jug, Nisha on the Doom, Supreme on his Invoker, and Robert G on the Lich. And two things to point out: going Splinter Blast to level 1 for the Wyvern to try and help his Jug. Now it means TA doesn't have to worry so much.
Yeah, suddenly TA is like, what are you gonna do? You can't Arctic Bone me, you can't deal with my refractions, get out of my lane! Which is exactly what J4 on the Dazzle is saying. What happened?
The creep still, they burnt off the refraction charge because he aggroed on the Invoker. Which is, you know, it's not a big deal at all. But it's...
The Splinter Blast even takes a CS. Feels bad. Either way, as we already talked about Invoker, this is a really rough lane for him, and we're interested to see how he goes. Exotic Deer on the bottom, already taking a lot of harass as well. His support is finally coming around, and they're not running the lanes I expected. I'm not sure if this was just because of the early rotations, but Robert is already down bottom. He needs to eat a creep. There we go. The changes to that. Oh goodness, but they're gonna turn on him. They're gonna throw it out. They also have a heal bomb, and Robert will be our first blood, one more auto attack. Really well played there. Big Num was actually trying to hold the auto attack because he thought PL might be able to get back in range, but no such luck.
That's so greedy to go up there when you know Rubik has boots from level 1 engagement. You know the PL probably has a mango because you would have seen it, or your team should have communicated it. Sure, you want to deny the creep, but that's a huge problem now because Arcade are gonna... they're gonna have a level up on you in the lane because it took so long to get there in the first place. Now they've got more gold than you, and aggressive tri-lanes can really snowball.
Yeah, as we've already mentioned, Isha is actually getting smacked around a little bit by Cheshire Cat. If Cheshire Cat, he does have 2 mangoes though. He might just dive. This is going to be our second blood most likely. He goes for it, and Nisha is down. Really good job on Cheshire Cat taking advantage of knowing the Scorched Earth was on cooldown. So,
That's really bad. You're losing your mid lane, you're losing your top lane, you're losing your bottom lane.
Yeah. It's only 2 minutes in though. It's entirely possible that this could turn around. But yes, as you point out, right now it's feeling like 3 lanes are lost, and
It's dead.
Yes. As I turn down to look there again, we see Jug go down. So they're having a really rough time all over the map, it looks like, for Alternate. Not anything like this first game.
I think Arcade just put them a bit off guard with the laning stage. I kind of saw it coming in the draft, but sometimes when you're playing, it's like you just have your mindset on what you're doing, and your opponents are obviously doing the same thing. So they next level you and go for the aggro tri lane, knowing what you wanted to do. As I said at the start, ATN does not have the strongest tri lane, and Arcade are abusing that very well right now.
Strangely though, Supreme now suddenly has more lost hits than Templar Assassin. Also going to drop a nice little EMP. She'll get the heal, but she loses a lot of mana there, and she should be able to get quite a few of these creeps under tower, but Supreme doing a surprising job of salvaging that.
It's probably just as soon as one support's there, TA can't like put the dominance from the early levels. Can't go up for the CS without losing a lot of regen, a lot of refraction charges, so no, the Wyvern didn't have Arctic Burn level 1, just the presence of their own made it enough. And now they just, knowing the lane's not going well enough bottom, do anything there.
We're going to have a bit of Arctic Bone action going out on J4, a lot of harass, Splinter Blast as well. J4 is going to get pretty low, but knowing that L can't follow, going to be just fine. And Doom has now taken over the CS up top, but again, if he makes another mistake of that use on the Scorched Earth, Cheshire Cat may just go in ham. He's probably going to go for a crush here, might crush Nisha in the creep wave, there we go. It's happening again. If Nisha isn't careful, he could fall here, and oh goodness, it's exactly what happened last time. Nisha, you need to walk it off. You're going to take another slithering crush and go down. He's dead. Goodbye, Nisha. You're gonna get the bashes on Cheshire Cat. Well, he doesn't have it skilled up, but Nisha is trapped in a pickle. He's trying to wander around. He pops the south. He might be able to get out of this one, but another slithering crush here. Scorched Earth. Oh, goodness. He just goes for the Doom, and he pops the Scorched Earth, and suddenly it is Cheshire Cat on the back line. We see Exotic Deer fall on the bottom, but Doom gets the kill in that prolonged engagement. So, Alternate get themselves on the board, but they lost more in the bottom lane, and this isn't looking great.
Yeah, at least Doom salvaged his lane. He's basically 2 full levels ahead of the Starladder, and Zero, with enough of an advantage, maybe he finds an Elf Wolf, can turn the game around for the next 5 minutes, just by being like a hero that you can't deal with.
Yeah. So, what do you do here? Exotic Deer clearly not getting the farm that he wants. He's 6-1 on lost hits with 2 deaths to his name. Do you rotate? Do you say, hey, we'll stack something for you, Exotic Deer? Maybe you can spin on it softly?
There's nothing he can really do right now. It's just going to be how much he can get out of this lane while his other 2 cores get to the point where they feel like they're ready to fight. As soon as Invoker gets a few more levels up in both of his orbs, he can probably get a TP and look to do some counter ganking. They can get a kill on the TA here.
She's got a lot of refraction on her, and Supreme, he's taking way too much tower damage. They failed to switch aggro in the middle of that gank, and while Barish does take a lot of harass, Invoker needed to back all the way up there. He was sitting below 100 health before he got Tangos stuffed into him. So, Alternate having a lot of trouble.
They definitely have the tools to come back though, because Invoker's actually doing fine mid. Zoom's eclipsing the PL on net worth, which you would expect. So if maybe Zoom, he looks to go bottom, or just look to go mid, get a kill.
And Templar Assassin is... Yeah, Templar Assassin is chasing down Robert G. I'm not quite seeing a way out of this, except there's a tornado coming out of Supreme. Should buy just enough time for Robert G to wander away. Supreme, though, now maybe in a spot of trouble. He's trying to knock those bottle charges off to Barash, and that should be it.
And top lane, the Doom nearly goes down, but he has Doom available, but they're not chasing him. They're going for the Wyvern instead.
Yeah, and I feel like this is just going to make them miss both kills. Slithering Crush doesn't manage to hit, and that means Nisha should be able to walk it off. They can see exactly where he is. He needs to kind of juke, but TA, I think, is going to get that kill. He tops the Doom onto her. He's now moving like a race car, and he no longer has the amp damage on him. And with the help of Invoker, are they going to turn this around? This is amazing. There's the Shallow Grave coming out, but I think that the TA is dead. Maybe she'll try to deny herself to creeps. Invoker manages to get that, but now he is surrounded, and Supreme going to be the casualty there. But, I mean, he got the kill on TA first, so I think they're okay with that. I mean, it could be worse, is what I'm trying to say.
Just Doom things.
I mean, that was a... This game, I feel like it needs some Benny Hill music playing.
That's just painful, because you can see him. You see he's at, like, 2 hits worth of HP. Then he dooms you, he Scorched Earths, and he's fine. I hate that hero so much. But
I
at
feel
least
like-
now we get to see why we hate the hero.
I feel like the worst part is the Doom. He wasn't even at 2 hits. He had amp damage on him. He would have been dead. So Supreme actually still playing really ballsy in the mid lane. And I mean, this guy knows how to play Invoker, but I'm always surprised by how up there he plays, especially since the hero is not meant to do so well.
Radiant's top tower
It's
is under
actually,
attack.
maybe I was completely overstating it, because just having the second hero there means TA can't really use her refraction charges to trade hits. Boca can constantly, like, come off from long range, and as soon as the refraction's down, she ever uses it to farm. Advantage of that by harassing her out with cold snappers. So, the lane is probably bad, but they just played really well around it on ATN. And unfortunately, Arcade, they had the tri lane to deal with, so TA didn't get help in the lane, but now she's the help from the stack doing on the Ancients.
And as we talked about, Doom just harassing everyone he can because he's Doom. He might dive the tower, he might just kill all of these creeps for fun. But Supreme is here, and oh, they're probably gonna go under Big Num. Oh goodness, Supreme, he wants your body, he wants to kill you all, but we have TPs coming in. It's just gonna be the PL though, and they just drop an EMP. That's gonna drain a lot of mana on people. PL dodges it with a doppelganger, but the Doom comes out onto Cheshire Cat. Nisha should go down here. He doesn't have Scorched Earth, it's on cooldown from before. He pops his stick charges and a tornado again. Supreme with these spells coming out. Turn around, throw a rocket Tron. He's probably gonna get up the doppelganger. There comes the turn, and he's gonna actually go for the hit onto Tron because he's got the baby Dooblings. They're gonna throw more rocks, and they catch out the PL. Doom, while you know, you never want to die, but they got pretty worse out of that. And again, I think he turned around, realizing I think he could have maybe walked away there, because PL would have had to give up his life either way to follow him, but a more sure kill, getting the baby Doomlings to pop out, since both of those rocks still have quite a bit of damage on them. And they don't cost any mana.
And heaven forbid someone comes mid now into the all rocks and tornado from Boca.
Yeah, that's 250 damage. Free, pretty much. So
They should change the damage on those.
Middle tower is under attack.
they are, in fact, rather strong. It needs mana cost or damage. And as you said, here come the baby Doomlings. They're saying hello. They throw 2 rocks at Barish and walk away. Even if these Doomlings die, it like doesn't matter in the slightest, right? They're like 14 gold or something, and
You didn't get the gold,
yeah,
so it doesn't matter.
this is very silly. Just Doom things.
Yeah, and it makes Enchantress actually a useful hero now if you get mud golems. But unfortunately, it is bad because of it.
Yeah. So Big Nom hiding in the trees. He has hit level 6 on the Rubik. We should really take a look at that. We've got a lot of actually both Lich and Rubik have level 6. Not exactly what I was expecting. The other 2 supports doing a lot more roaming. So but it's a good timing on that level 6 for them. It's something where sometimes from these supports we don't see it coming out until the 14-minute mark. Even with that haste, Barish taking a lot of damage, she might be able to run down Supreme though, but it looks like both of them preferring to calm things down and take a chill pill.
And I'm actually really surprised at how well the Rubik's keeping up on levels. And as that happens, Zul gets put even further behind as he dies to the dive top. He was also in trouble.
We have a smoke that it got broken by Exotic Deer. He doesn't see Cheshire Cat coming in. I don't think Exotic Deer has a way out of this. He could maybe eat his mango, but he's going to go down before that happens. He does eat his mango. He goes for the ult, but the spin coming out. Oh, being killed with your own spin. Always an awkward thing to go down. And yeah, that level 1 Omni Slash, only 3 slashes. It's not exactly the most fatal thing. And now Supreme, he's been amped up, he's being chased around. Does he have any sort of support? He also drops the EMP. That's going to be enough mana, and the Winter's Curse turnaround, they get the quick kill onto Slaughter, and now they're looking for more, but Barish has refractions up. Supreme, not that cocky.
Radiant's bottom tower.
That was a
I'm surprised
beautiful
they actually
turnaround.
went for that. You know the tornado's going to come up by the time you get in crush range, and I'm not sure if they saw the Wyvern, but I think they had. Oh, what? They should have seen him because of daytime. Well,
Yeah.
Just picking up kill station. At the end of the day, I don't think it's. I don't know. Maybe it is a big deal. Big right now. You can't really fight into him.
Yeah, Alternate definitely were behind for a little bit there, being down on the kill score, but they've made a good job of coming back. And while this lead, it's not insurmountable, this is like less than one big team fight that we're going to be seeing as we're approaching mid-game. It's still something where they were losing all their lanes at one point. Now they're coming back.
Is under attack.
Yeah, but I feel like it's even more so than the deficit. It's like You can see TAs have a Deso at this point. Component yet. The Invoker's like, he's more than happy with what he has right now. But
Yeah,
it's kind of twofold.
Invoker is standing up there. He's got an invisibility rune, so no giveaway. But he goes for it. He's going to drop the EMP as well, and that's because Wyvern is nearby. They do not have sentries, though. So Supreme, he needs to wander away, and Big Num going to throw him back into the waiting arms of a Poison Touch, but that should be the end of that engagement. Neither team really wanting to bait a bit too deep. I don't think they... Yeah, this is our Radiant Vision. Couldn't quite see how many were coming in, and then of course the Dire had nothing there to tell them what was going on, so... Meanwhile, Doom, top lane, getting lances thrown at him every second.
Yeah, but he's a hero that can sustain it because he has a headdress and balance spells
Radiant's
of
bottom
Scorched Earth.
tower is under attack.
On the
They're
other
actually
hand,
going to see this rotation, so the supports aren't going to get anything done here.
Yeah. And Tron is having a much easier game this time, but I don't know if it'll be enough. Doom opens with the Doom and the Winter's Curse. That is Big Num going down. They're now going to chase onto J4. Big Num trying to body block them up, actually, so that J4 receives less hate. He has a Shallow Grave if he wants it. Instead, just goes with the Shadow Wave, really wanting to hold on to that. And if they have more TP rotations, I don't think it's unreasonable to say that Arcade could turn this around, since the Doom is down, as is the Winter's Curse. And we're probably just going to see Tron throw some more lances at Nisha with the Scorched Earth being down.
That's a lot of hate for the Rubik. It's a nice rotation coming up, knowing that they wanted to kind of get something done from Arcade, but they saw the ward, the Wyvern TP's up. They probably also saw this lane ward get
Dire's
dropped.
top tower
Maybe
is
they
under
were
attack.
looking on the inventories at the time though.
Well, maybe they will, because Invoker, he pulsed around it, and now he's seeing what he can find on the back lines. Maybe he's just going to go for a Dazzle, but nighttime, neither of these two seeing each other, although they may be right about to walk into each other. Dazzle has thrown out another heal, and my goodness, the Paul thing here, very lucky for that Dazzle.
Yeah, it's so painful seeing it as a spectator, because you don't realize how close you are as a player. But nighttime's a thing, and on top of that, neither of them have like accelerated, not accelerated, like heightened night vision, like other heroes.
Yeah, none of the heroes in this game, right, have extra night vision? I'm recalling
Not by a
correctly.
big amount.
Yeah, oh, we're gonna see Slaughter thinking about coming in. There's the Meld Strike. Supreme suddenly missing a lot of armor. He needs help, but he may just fall here before it comes in. And there we see him going down. And there's also the lift onto the Wyvern. Cold embraces herself. It reduces a lot of damage coming out of him, but without more help, she's just gonna fall after this. And Wyvern going down as well. So no more rotations than that, unfortunately, for Alternate, feeding away 2 kills quickly.
And that, so they can start putting enough pressure up to even up this game a bit. Roche is definitely good enough though. If they don't feel like going for more kills, giving the TA an Aegis. And that pretty much finishes up Adesso in the next minute. Changes after this.
Yeah, they have a lineup that can do a super early Roshan. I'm really happy to see them taking advantage of it. I think they can actually do it as soon as Slaughter turns 6 with 1 point in Meld Strike, so they get it. TA, probably the carrier as we talked about, and yeah, she's going to be holding it. The Tornado coming out just a little too late. They're still thinking about going in for it. Templar Assassin doesn't have a blink or anything. Are they just going to burn this right as it goes? But they don't have any sentries. What is going on here? Oh, no dust, no sentries. They're just gonna spin right on top of Barash. Oh, and Supreme now coming in, walking around. I'm so... Oh gosh, she actually walks forward a little bit, and it looks like they're thinking about engaging, but Barashi is back there, has the meld again, and you just spin on that. I mean, it's got a long cooldown, but it's back up. Exotic Deer, I thought, knew that she was in there, and unfortunately, it looks like with the weave on them as well, they may not be wanting to go for that, and they don't have vision. Oh goodness, now the Templar Assassin is attacking the ward. They end up Winter's Cursing on Big Num, again showing a lot of hate for this Rubik. He's going to be spun down, Shallow Grave comes out, and now Nisha is going to take out J4, so no more help from the Dazzle, and one more auto attack finishes off Big Num. So they get something, but a really strange engagement, and Templar Assassin probably pretty happy she didn't get the Aegis and then burn it immediately.
Yeah, losing the 2 supports is really nice that ATN managed to get some, but if you're Arcade, you're not too fussed about it, even though the Rubik's a fairly pricey kill, because I think he was around on par with Starladder a while ago. Maybe that was before the 2 kills mid though. But he's still fairly well, so every time you can kill him and peg him down a notch is good.
Yeah, 100%. So we're just going to be waiting in the pause. This gives us a good moment to take a look around at the items. Wyvern now holding up 3 sentries. We've also got Juggernaut with working towards that Battle Fury to accelerate his farm. Doom has a Vlads and drums. This is a fighting Doom. He's going to be helping his team out with that. And I really like how that combos with the Quaswex Invoker. So he also has workings of an Orchid, which definitely can kill a couple people here if he catches them out. And Lich is poor, is the way we generally say that. Dazzle, of course, brown boots. The blink is up on Starladder, which is a pretty big pickup for him. Probably going to work on the 4-star for finishing those treads next. Bignum, pretty good farm, but still, you know, just rocking those arcanes. Deso that we already talked about on Templar Assassin. And, of course, Phantom Lancer, doomed.
But he's fine. So,
Yeah.
you have to transition this into a tier 1 though. If they know the PL's not in fighting shape, get that while the Aegis is up. That's a really big deal. It's also a really ballsy move.
He does have a TP up, so he can come back into this team fight, and while Invoker does have his entire toolkit available, as you said, it's pretty risky, and they might just poke at it with Alacrity and then back. This tower is almost full health as well, so it's not an easy task, and Slaughter, they know he has a blink, yeah, they decide to back out on the side of Alternate.
They're making space for the Jug, so that rotation's it's not the best that you don't get a kill off the Doom, but you draw all of Arcade down there, and Jug's got a free open side of the map. It's exactly what he needs right now, because he's really far behind where he should be. He's not doing too bad in the second.
Yeah, now we're going to be seeing lots of folks rotating down into this jungle in a smoke. It looks like they'll be catching the Wyvern. Wyvern has a haste, oh goodness, breaks everything, but Lift is not gonna work. You get a haste, but they have Lift. They have lots of stuns, so Wyvern, on the other hand, probably you'd prefer the Lich maybe over the Wyvern to be caught, just because having Winter's Curse is nice, but it could have been a lot worse. And now they're running on through. Slaughter seeing if you can catch anybody else.
Really surprised he went there. Should have known that Arcade was still in the area. So, small misplay. They were going to lose the tower regardless, but they give up one extra kill. Arcade arguably shouldn't have gotten. But they're managing to trade. Or at least it looks like they'll be able to trade. I don't think Arcade can get here in time. They're young. Well, they're just opting to not defend.
I think it's not a good trade if Arcade also gets the mid tower, but it does look like they've gotten top already and they could rotate for middle, a tower which is full health, and they have a glyph, so guessing that they want to do something about this. But Templar Assassin, of course, with that Desolator will make quick work of this tower, and they need to start TPing into that tier 2 or the trees, and the trees are dangerous because Slaughter are keeping an eye open for anybody coming in. He even goes on L again. Is L just gonna fall here, puts himself into that cold embrace, but there is a Fade Bolt with L's name on it, so Wyvern down and an easy tier 1 tower going the way of Arcade.
Really nice positioning from the Starladder, realizing the Wyvern or any hero might come, try and draw creep aggro, delay the push. He's in position to punish that. But yet again, they get the tower on top. Arguably, they shouldn't be given.
And I'm pretty sure they know exactly where the lineup of Arcade knows exactly where Alternate. If they get the lift onto Doom, no TP out for him, and that is a nice big kill for them. A huge Shadow Wave killing him off.
So now, despite the slightly in favor, ATN, they're pretty much back to even, and Arcade are gonna probably get the last remaining tier 1, make really good use of the Aegis.
Yeah, they've done a lot of work with it. Knocking out all the tier 1s, fantastic job, and it's an early Aegis as well, so this does mean that they'll get another one back soon. We've also got folks super deep, Slithering Crush coming out onto Robert. Are we ever going to get to see a Lich ult flying out? And I'm beginning to think that might be a no, but we have a big tornado coming out. EMP should do some good work. Cheshire Cat taking a lot of damage there, and the ult does come out. It somehow manages to bounce. It's still bouncing. It hits a lot of illusions though, and that should be just about the 10 bounces going down. And it's Cheshire Cat!
How is it bouncing?
Okay.
Right, that's like that was the worst Lich ult ever.
So,
turned into something that was actually good.
I feel like the max bounce range was...
How does it go from there
I think,
to there?
okay, no. So I think what happened... Yeah, that was the one which surprised me too, when it bounced from Cheshire Cat to the PL. But I think what actually happened is when the bounce was initiated, because PL has drums, so he may have just been moving really fast, and he was actually a lot closer when the bounce began. But yeah, we do get to see a Lich ulti, and it does mad work.
Yeah, and I'm really surprised. If I was playing that Lich, there's no way that would bounce that favorably for me. Game's rigged. They might find the Evoker. They've got a sentry down. Doesn't quite get the lift though, so he should be able to get away.
Yeah, and very happy Supreme to escape. Now, something...
Blink. Really surprised that worked. They canceled him.
well.
They might get him now.
Yeah, Supreme, he takes a lot of damage there, amp damage up, no way to ghost walk out of this one, and he is going to go down, so a little bit too cocky play, and maybe, while we do agree that Supreme plays this Invoker really well, maybe overextending because he's feeling like he's in a dominant position.
He just hasn't been able to do anything though. He got this Orchid with drums at a really good timing, but as soon as Arcade are grouping up because they have the Aegis, he's not in a position to be able to fight them because his drug is... Admittedly, he's on par, but it feels like they're so far behind as a team, so they aren't.
Their supports and offlaner are... Well, sorry, no, just their supports are doing really poorly. Like, I think that's where the change comes. Rubik has a blink versus these other supports where Lich is rocking shoes and working towards a 4-staff, and of course Wyvern is also really poor.
It's mostly just the Aegis, but it feels like Arcade are in a stronger position than they actually are numerically. I think that's just the heroes, honestly. Like, TA is at her peak at this stage of the game. She's buffed up by Starladder, and PL's not countered at the moment.
Additionally, it does feel like they're getting good pickoffs. I was a little bit surprised that they decided to go for the illusion there, but of course the Lich looking like an easier pickoff than Doom. So yeah, PL, he is doing well. He's got that defusal up, decides to go for that first item this time. And yeah, well, first big item, we don't count drums. How do they start to counter the PL? Because of course, if Doom can PL the right PL, Doom can Doom the right PL, it's going to be fine. But other than that, I'm not sure how they stop him.
I think it's just going to be the drug eventually getting to the point where man fight, which is always going to be hard because Fusel limits a lot of your options. From the PL, sorry. Like, he's going to lose all of his mana, and he's probably not going to feel confident out of the fights without spin, without Omni mana. But if he gets big enough, he can definitely fight, so I wouldn't say the PL's, like, good at all this game.
Yeah.
Top of that, the TA to worry about. She's kind of the X factor here.
She does have her blink.
Drug in, like, 2 hits.
She does have her blink dagger up. She has a bunch more gold in the bank. This smoke may be unable to connect, but they have another in their possession, and it feels like Arcade, while they're not super far ahead by any means in gold or experience, they're in fact behind on both. It does feel like it's their game to lose right now because they're at, as you said, kind of peak power.
Yeah, and they should be able to maintain rotation control, which pick TA on the dire side, especially Starladder and Dazzle as well. Generally why you do it. Do it on Radiant as well, but it's just slightly easier to execute on die because of how the towers are, etc.
Yeah, and we haven't seen Alternate able to make something happen, it feels like, in about 6-7 minutes.
I kind of just splitting up really well. Like, if they are split, it's for PL who can't really get caught by the diffusal, the Orchid on the Invoker. He gets his own diffusal blade to purge it off, etc. He can always be away after cold snap, blah blah blah. The heroes that are vulnerable, they're staying in a group.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And with that, Cheshire Cat is going to initiate onto poor Supreme, and he is alone. He throws out a tornado, but it's not enough. Big Gnome coming in with the lift. Supreme's going to fall again. Templar Assassin getting herself a nice little dominating streak. So, and tornado stolen.
Yeah, that's a really big spell actually, if you can manage to stop maybe the Wyvern or even the Joker when he comes back up from doing things while you kill another hero. You don't need long as the TA or the PL to actually kill a hero this game.
100%. Exotic Deer may have up his Yasha. I think he needs a lot more before he's ready to fight. You know, Monta, there's a couple things you can dodge out of here, but even then, does feel like he needs some damage after that. Maybe
he needs a lot.
Yeah. And we're seeing Cheshire Cat again doing good work initiating things. He gets the Winter's Curse cast on him, but where is the damage? There it goes. A tornado dodged by the 4-staff. Well played there. And he's not going to hit him, but it might be enough damage. Nope, with the heals coming out, no way that urn is ticking him down. So, a nice escape by Cheshire Cat, and the Winter's Curse burned. This does mean that Alternate probably not going to be able to take a fight for a while.
might mean they concede this 2-2 bottom.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Arcade are
under
all
attack.
rotating down now, so unless ATN really feel like they can fight without the Winter's
Dire's
feel like they
top tower
can't,
is under attack.
then
Radiant's
gone for
bottom
free.
tower is under attack.
That bad engagement.
Radiant's
These six are
structures
farming,
are
meanwhile they're
fortified.
trying to push up mid with the Wyvern. They're actually rotating heroes down. Looks like they do want to fight.
I'd be really surprised. This Doom doesn't have a way of fighting, and he's lost almost all of his mana. So they throw up a tornado, but Doom, he's already being gone on. They use the Cold Embrace, but your mana's still gonna all be stolen. Nisha, he's basically a big creep at this point. He tries to pop his one charges and the Shivas, but it's not gonna do much, and he goes down. They do get the Omni Slash onto Cheshire Cat, and now Tron, he's taking quite a bit of damage with a doppelganger forwards, and suddenly Supreme. He's on the back lines. Barash gonna use a cleave to kill him. Sorry, the meld strike to kill him, and the stolen Omni Slash coming out. Exotic Dia saved in the Cold Embrace. They're getting very low. J4 falls. Tron has to use that doppelganger, but Exotic Dia, he can't turn and fight. He doesn't know which one's the real one. Own charge is flying out. Barash is low as well, but should have refractions in 4 seconds. If they can just throw another Splinter Blast,
Radiant's bottom tower
I think Wyvern could have managed something, but it is rough, and the Wyvern may just be falling here. Just manages to live there.
Really surprised they tried to fight that. Especially because by the time they got there, the tower was like already half dead, and Arcade were in a
Big Nom
position.
just, yeah. He went for the
happened?
Fade Bolt. He went for the Fade Bolt onto L. So he blunked forwards, went for the Fade Bolt, and then instead Robert blasted him with the Frost Blast, and then L popped Arctic Burn and started attacking him. But Roshan is up, and it should be easy for the lineup of Arcade. Look at it go!
Yeah, they're all half dead, but they don't care. They've got TA.
Yeah.
has fallen to
So now this is for the remaining tier 2s, unless ATN can pull off some pretty nice smokes. No way they can actually initiate on the front. They need to find the backline. If they can find Starladder before Grave comes out, that would be like ideal. Then all their stuns are gone, minus the Rubik. If you don't give him a big spell and you take out the Starladder for Grave, then you can have maybe a good fight. But those are really hard circumstances to hit.
And now, both the PL and Templar Assassin are top of the net worth charts. It's looking rough for Alternate. How do they get back into this game?
They just have to maintain like their high ground, hold a few Aegis pushes, and bigger. Because the game goes on, Doom counteracts one of the heroes, especially TA, really well. Because she's really fragile as the game goes on. You're not going to feel comfortable going into a fight when PL's countered kind of by Wyvern and Kshatriya as the game goes on. Invoker's a huge X factor. You know, if he gets level 25, Deafening Blast does really well against all their heroes. He has ways of disabling the Dazzle, so...
Unfortunately, he's level 14. He didn't go for a Midas either or anything. Now we're going to be seeing a Slithering Crush initiation. The Doom has come out onto the Rubik. They've got the Tornado as well, and the Winter's Curse being used on Barash. Do they have the damage? Dazzle has fallen on the backline. The Lich ulti bouncing. It burns the first life on Barash, and now they're looking for more, but here comes PL Tron doing a lot of good work. Doing a lot of damage to Supreme. They burnt through the illusions with the Splinter Blast and Nisha. He's managing to run away, but the Healing Ward has been taken down, and Exotic Dia, the Omni Slash, is stopped by Tron, just splitting up into that doppelganger. They should be able to catch out Cheshire Cat here, but they would probably want some more. Either way, this is a good deal for them, and I believe the Dazzle bought back. Yeah,
that's
J4 bought
huge.
back.
Burned
So-
the Aegis as well in the TA, so
They
that's
burned
no
the
longer a
Aegis.
factor. Now they're gonna get it too. This is like really surprising. I can guarantee you, Arcade just think ATN would fight, maybe got a little sloppy on their position. It happens.
middle tower
Yeah.
has
Saying that
fallen.
there's no way they're out of the game, but it's just hard. But
Suddenly-
kind of gave it to them.
Yeah, and as you said, suddenly Alternate doing really well, taking a big team fight, and their net worth shooting up. It's really weird as well. I feel like part of it's just the Doom. We have to always look at these net worth charts a little bit differently when there are heroes like Doom and Alchemist who have extra gold farming ways in it. But Alternate have never really been too far behind, and that really surprises me just because the kills were so in favor of Arcade, and additionally, it just feels like Arcade is doing better.
The Scrap managed to keep up in farm despite the 1 or 2 team fights that I believe they shouldn't have taken toe to toe with its TA, which is mostly due to the fact Arcade have been grouping up as a team trying to make things happen, and they have made things happen. It's just 1 or 2 missteps and suddenly it's all gone.
Yeah, and we're gonna have a full staff coming out of the Lich finally. Supreme has a DD, but he's not that scary. That's the okay. I was gonna say that's the other thing that I find surprising. Supreme hasn't shown us a new item in a long time, but there it is, a Deso.
I really like it actually. I feel like it's risky though. Just if he ever gets caught out, he's already so squishy. Wyvern's not a complete save if Rubik manages to deal like a new 100-ish damage. So it is risky, but I like the idea behind it.
Yeah, and I also think that it's the right way to say it. They need damage. They need damage sources that aren't just Jug. They can't bet it all on the Juggernaut right now. And so having a Deso on the Invoker, I mean, he can hit quite hard, and as he gets more points in Exhort, he'll be able to have a nice, solid Alacrity bonus. That'll help out too.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised you didn't get the AC instead, which I think it was him going for it the other day. Always transition into an AC. Game it would make a lot more sense. Be the Doom saying no, I'll go AC next, so we have as much armor as possible. And then the Invoker's just down to getting right-click items. Maybe he looks into a BKB next, or some kind of ability item.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are a lot of options here, and I actually have to say I think that these team fights will go more smoothly. Less, as you said, Invoker has to drop all of his spells well, but I'm actually more interested to see the itemization coming out of the Wyvern, because a Force Staff or Blink would do wonders here for L.
Both would be amazing. It's just what if he feels he needs to counter-initiate, or if he feels he needs to save his team.
Because it feels like a lot of the Winter's Curses have been onto one hero so far.
Yeah,
and as you said, they're used very defensively. I don't think I've seen one to initiate. It's been Cheshire Cat jumps in. We should probably Winter's Curse him before he kills us all.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, I mean, he had a few really nice ones early, but it's a lot easier when people are running into you early.
Yeah.
They already have the Force on Lich, so I wouldn't be surprised if he opts to go for Blink, but it looks like he's been buying the wards most of the game, so might be a bit optimistic to even think of anything past the Force or a Blink.
He's definitely the sacked support too, which I find to be really interesting.
I don't think he should be.
I agree. I feel like Lich is the hero who can do a lot with nothing, having that ice armor, having that nice Chain Frost ultimate, and then of course Frost Blast.
Force already as well, so like, what do you want from the hero?
I don't know, but I think Rubik's going in Aghanims, and this excites me with an Invoker in the game.
Yeah, if he manages to do a lot with it, then it's...
Oh, the Tornado still ends up latching onto Cheshire Cat. He's gonna blink away though in a few seconds if they don't get damage onto him. And Supreme now taking a lot of damage actually from Templar Assassin. Immediate Winter's Curse, but it hits onto an illusion unfortunately, and that was the saddest Lich ultimate. Here comes Tron. They do get the Doom onto Big Nun. They still hate this here. And the Omni Slash, it's actually bouncing, making up for that Lich ultimate. They've gotten so many heroes low. Exotic Gear just needs one more hit on Barrish, and somehow he lives through all of that. They even cold embraced one of his illusions, knowing that Exotic Deer didn't need it. No, I'm pretty sure that was a misclick, but another really one team fight, and I thought they were in a spot of trouble when they Winter's Curse the wrong Templar Assassin, but taking her out of the fight, making her unable to attack Bear.
Well, that was a complete panic moment, though. Like, he did the exact right thing, though. He didn't the Invoker under the Cold Embrace. He immediately went to something. All they had to do that, they did. And then to win the fight. And now they're going to force buybacks if there are any.
Now there's going to also be a level, like, a level 2 Sunstrike. Oh, goodness, but Big Nun may go down anyway. Does pop to the Soulbone coming out of that Orchid, and as you said, it's forcing buybacks. We've got one from the TA, but it looks like Arax is going to be down regardless. That backdoor protection, Exotic Deer with the spin TP out. Slaughter not even trying for the right-click bash attempt to stop that TP, and they've gotten themselves a big lead on the lineup. Oh, he gets a Slithering Crush onto 3, stop the TP. They're going to lose least L going down through Splinter Blast and Tornado. Will it be enough to enable a retreat coming out? He can't turn invisible because he's got the amp damage on him. And I think, okay, I thought it would take a little bit longer, but one hit, Assassin knocks him out.
Yeah, fine as well.
Yeah.
TA's got somebody, but some Lich away, so at least get something out of the buybacks. They lost their melee rack, which gonna happen with buybacks, I feel like. So
I mean, I feel like they only lost 10,000 gold.
yeah, a really solid and I probably didn't expect it. They lost that mid where they control. It's been helpful for them because they can't fight. But she is really fragile.
So suddenly, all the other ones in the driver's seat, and it really did feel like Templar Assassin was in a good position to dominate that game. No such luck.
It's one of those. Like, this is Joe. You go for such a like, even though being money-wise, it was a huge lead, but it felt like a huge lead. In fact, ATN did not want to. They were all the tower without protection, and was any protection, they were getting picks behind the tower next to the at like 15 minutes. So it felt like they were. And one or two fights, ATN kept up the money while they were having the downtime, and so it's different.
Exactly. Now, we're going to be seeing he is making 4.2k gold. Do you think he might just be the AC carrier? Oh, we've got massive stacks.
If he goes for a show as well.
Don't
Definitely go with
get
you.
Barish. My understanding is we're not meant to say words, but either way, important and exactly what's going on. Instead, we look at Dad's items. So we're gonna look at his costume a little bit. I hate how when I look in a costume mode, everything looks stupid. Like Dazzle doesn't walk around with his arms out awkwardly like this. He's got incredibly long forearms.
That's a point. I think this one it was like when it was initially.
It is a reborn bug. It's
Reborn.
the same reason the FGs have the stuff flying off of them, I'm pretty sure. It's because when you, like, sometimes the FGs change too when you examine them, so.
Yeah, it's like, when you look at effigies, they look like mostly alright, and then go into this action mode and everything screwed up.
Discuss the lack of effigies in this game. I just realized we're seriously lacking in the effigy game. It's like one for Big Thumb, and that's it.
I think it's A
It doesn't
because
have
of
an
the
inscription.
B because when everyone went to respawn, the effigies got taken off the or
Profiles?
the
Oh,
icon.
yeah.
So it
Also,
probably just
sometimes
happened
in
added up.
I really enjoy this discussion a lot. But yeah, I am upset by this effigy game. Come on, Gnome, you can't just, oh, there's another one over here, I missed it. It's a Rubik, it's still has no inscription. This could also just be like a Russian thing, though. Like maybe the Russians are like, no, you're not allowed to describe them. That's rude. No icons. That's not very Russian at all. No, it's not. There's a lot of icons in Eastern Orthodox. Either way, see what Dal has going on here. He's got just the medallion. Slaughter is Force Link Dagger Tranquils, and now I think he's working on the BAP. I understand the point of Tranquils gives you a bit more armor. Certainly, even faster. You're not taking damage when you add in Spirit to that. It just feels like you're not very tanky.
At the point of the game, you pick them up actually are, but for the mobility items, and not picked up anything except no club after Tranquils in like 30 minutes of gameplay to have tank. Everyone on arcade actually feels squishy now.
Yeah, there's no good way for me to like their comparative healths, but Dazzle's rocking under 1,000, Slaughter's under, he's 1.5 thousand, Rubik's 1.2, Templar Assassin's at 1.6, and Phantom Lance are actually pretty tanky compared to everyone else. But it's not so great when you also consider the fact that we got a Deso, so it's removing armor. They're generally using the weave offensively, not defensively. Okay, so we're not getting so much action there. And Juggernaut, yeah, it does a lot of damage. Cleave also, coming off of the Battle Fury, doesn't care about your armor. So, or your evasion.
That's a really good point, actually. I'd expect the PL to pick something up now that makes tanky, whether it be Scaddy or Heart. Both of.
Yeah.
I think it makes a lot more sense, though, is need a way to kite. I feel like at this point, the TA can maybe out, come back in, get a pick. You play that game instead.
Yeah,
So
and it looks
he's
like they're
just-
just It looks like they're
sorry.
just having some packet loss, so that's a good thing. Just a router reset should fix that. So.
Yeah, I hope. Oh, I never knew that.
What?
Never knew they were brothers.
Oh!
I suppose,
Well.
like, when you scrim teams, you don't really talk to them that much,
No,
but I never know about it.
You don't be, and also their names. I mean, it's Nisha and Supreme. It's not like a giveaway, you know?
No, it's not like...
I'm trying to think of someone who actually has similar names, and I'm drawing a complete blank, so my argument is invalid and dumb. But I was trying to think, I was about to say Limp and Chessie, but then I realized, like, their names aren't a giveaway either, I just know that they're related.
Yeah, Swindle, Z-Freak, it's not a giveaway
Yeah,
either, but
no.
the reason you know that is because there's profiles on the teams they've been in.
Mhm,
Like,
yeah.
one, it was really obvious because everyone knew they were.
Mhm.
Whereas ATN, they're a really good team, but aren't a high-profile team.
Yeah.
Yet. I hope they do become so one day.
Yeah, no, I mean, there are a lot of... Something I love about not only Starladder, but a lot of other tournaments having larger qualifiers. We're seeing some really great teams get opportunities to play other great teams. It always lifts you up. We talked about it a bit in the NA scene, where DC maybe weren't performing so well. They go to Nanyang, they get to scrim a lot of those fantastic teams. They come back and they start wiping everybody in the North American scene. You know, they had that run where they qualified for the summit, where they did really, really well, and a lot of people weren't expecting it. So I feel like it's always great that there are tournaments like Starladder, like the open qualifiers that will be coming up for the majors, and that a lot of other tournaments have been running, because it allows so many more tier 2 teams to be pulled up.
Yeah, and as soon as you get that tiny bit of like success, it can catapult you to more. ATN are probably at the position where they get invited to like a lot of small tournaments. There's no way they get invited to like qualifiers for. They're gonna have to do it themselves. It's a hard life, honestly. You have to perform so consistently to get to the point where it's like, alright, you are now considered a team worthy of being invited to
Or
hack.
Have big names. I mean, that's something where it turned out it was obviously valid, but I was actually really surprised when the first few tournaments out of the international, Secret were invited, because they were technically a new team, right? They'd had only one member remain, and while they had a lot of big names on them, it did definitely feel like they didn't have to play through any qualifiers.
Yeah, but that team was like...
But they were
all-star
invited
team.
before they showed that they were dominating everybody, right?
Yeah, but you look at that team, right? Pylai Dai was port in the world.
Oh, would he still be? He hadn't played on a good team in a year.
Yeah, but it's without firing any shots here. It's the same thing with Alliance and Navi. They are Alliance less so these days because they're coming back to form. They're finding a way to win games, and they're Navi get invited to because they are Navi. That's not a bad thing because lots of people love watching them play. Just that there are more deserving teams in terms of players.
And we are seeing Navi start to lose out on those invites because of this.
Everyone wants to see Dendi at an event. He's like such a charismatic guy. On top of that, really fun to play as well.
Yeah.
Right,
people are
stuff.
claiming they're not. Thank you, Dota, for all the problems. And you know, the worst part is that the packet loss may not even be like on their end. I know some people, less so with Dota, but were having, after a few patches, a lot of packet loss. I know I was having dropped inputs on this loss, the 6.85B patch. Oh my goodness, that destroyed me. So. But
now
we're back into a
anyone
game.
Remembers what we're doing.
Well, they just took a good engagement after they forced buybacks, and Arcade did manage to get a little bit out of those buybacks, got a few kills, but maybe not as much as they wanted. The net worth chart is still... Also, I have to say I love the pause, like...
Oh yeah, it counts,
where they just draw out... They draw it out, and then the time doesn't look wrong, but it's wrong. The net worth graph is now ruined.
I don't know.
They just actually shift it.
We need
I never realized. So what they've done is for the past 10 minutes or so of the pause, Okay, we don't actually have an engagement, so I can show people this. They've actually just shifted the girl off to the left. Wow. That is, actually really poorly written. So, but that is not important, folks. We should not. We've done enough trashing of Reborn. It's really hard to make a video game, folks, so we should not make fun of them. I can't remember when the Aegis expired, whether it was going to be a long or a short Roshan. It told us, but we will find out in a few shakes of a lamb's tail. That's what shakes. That's what shakes, so we'll see.
Most tails shake.
Yeah, actually, you cut lamb tails off, but it's not important. It's a 9-minute Roshan.
The thing that happens a lot when you pause for that long, and
oh goodness, it's gonna be a Winter's Curse onto Barish and a Doom. They want that Templar Assassin dead, and she brought back last team fight, so there is no way back in here.
They have to defend though, so I don't think this is gonna amount to racks.
Do you trade a Rax here? Because you have a Deso on your team, and they have PL. I think actually it is Arcade who may need to be returning, because they have excellent push on the lineup of Alternate. They also could put more alacrities on people. Yeah, they are burning through these racks before the tower is even down. So suddenly, Alternate getting a Rax, and this is the power of Deso plus a very pithy alacrity.
Wyvern as well, like he was there as the own defending, and Arcade didn't feel comfortable.
Oh goodness, we have an Omni Slash coming out. It doesn't hit on too many, but here comes the Lich ult. It unfortunately wasn't on J4 first, so it doesn't stop the TP, and there is no level death on cooldown. Just be a stun, so there's no stopping that, but we are going to see them get a Rax, and I think even though they didn't get the kills down bottom, you're probably pretty dang happy with a Rax, and it might even be another 5,000 gold for them.
Yeah, that's huge. I really didn't think they'd be able to brute force Rax like that after seeing the Wyvern down. But Arcade didn't respond like instantly. They had the Rubik come back, and I think they realized, okay, we want to trade here, and then they kind of went backwards and forwards. They managed to get the tower, whereas ATN took the entire Rax. Yeah. Desto, Alacrity come by.
Yeah, more
some choices.
More Desto than the Alacrity, because it's still a pretty wimpy Alacrity.
Yeah, the attack speed makes a huge difference.
Oh yes, of course.
Face boots. It doesn't have any attack speed items outside of drums, which really count, and I guess a bit from the Orchid. So, we've got a nice smoke coming around, and this could be the nail in Arcade's coffin, or if they can turn it around with their own smoke. But we're gonna see the loop. That was literally on the edge.
Yeah, it was beautiful. But if they run uphill,
will run into each other,
no,
I think.
They haven't yet. There's a blink forward. They're going for the Roshan. They know that it's up on the lineup of Arcade. If they sneak this, this is huge. And L could check it. L could just fly over with that Arctic Bone, but he doesn't go for it. And the Roshan was actually being checked by the Forge Spirit, which is going to get destroyed. Ring of Aquila on the deck, but a big win for Arcade. Yes, their lanes are pushing in. Oh, here comes Doom, though. And this may just be an Aegis immediately going down. Barish has the cheese. He doesn't have the Aegis, and he is going to fall here. Winter's Curse, people poking away at him, and the Doom, I think, a bit too much. There might be the deny at the very least, but that isn't good enough, and they don't even get the deny. The Omni Slash, it looks like it was stopped immediately, but the return Doom for Big Num, this is why you Doom him instead, and they will be able to punish him, but Doom, still doomed up. No Templar Assassin. You think they'll just take the tier 4s here? Do you think we're over?
Oh, they can Rax or tier 4s, there's 50 seconds without TA, and Rubik doesn't have... They don't know about that one, so they should count that he should maybe be here, but they don't care.
Yeah, they're going in hand. There is going to be the Omni Slash coming out. It wasn't actually used before. J4, he is going to shallow grave himself, but he may still take a lot of damage. They aren't attacking the real Tron. Exotic Deer actually going to take a bunch there, and now the Disarm coming out, but Tron, he still has Lances. He's just going to go down here. Doppelganger's away. That the Splinter Ball is going to burn that Aegis. He has a secondary life. Let's see what he can do, but instead, Arcade, they just GG out, and Alternate, no one expected it, but they 2-0 this set.
After the first game, I was pretty confident seeing they'd be well in the second as well. and see, they know. Tiebreaker action. I hope you're right on that, otherwise it would look really bad.
Yeah, they're definitely...
give people false hope.
100%. So, yeah, we are right on that, because now we have 3 teams at 1-2, and of course Alliance in this group was 3-0, so there will be some tiebreaker action. Not sure when that will be scheduled for, but we do have a few days